this is the way that you normally draw your ghosts, it's time that you give them a much better afterlife experience. Start off by making a semicircle with a light brown color. And in the gap, make 3 little lumps with gray or a muted green of your choice. And blend that color into the brown, fill in all around the semicircle, and add little dots of fall colors all around. The dark brown on one side, make a big semicircle, and you're going to turn this into a tree, which you want to look super Halloweeny and spooky, so make the branches super winding. Somewhere in the white area on the top, make a circle and fill in all around it. And underneath those lumps, make 3 little curves. Under those, make irregular wavy lines. Then make another layer of wavy lines behind each of them. Now shade in the top section above the curve and around the sides. And in the little waves in each of the crevices, make lines that go upwards. Then with a darker color, make 2 little lines going on both sides, which will give it a ripple effect. You can use the darker color to add more shading on the side of each of them. And on both sides, make these little boxes with lines going up to the tree. And add little dots going up the lines, and this is going to be your swing. Coming from the outer edge of the white oval, make some shading that goes towards the center. Then choose a color from the environment to make lines that go straight down, and it'll make it look like little reflections. You can also add a little white line going around the edge of the lake, then outline all of the ghosts. On the inside of the ripples, make these little hatching lines. Make the underneath of them dark. Of course, give them 2 really big eyes and a little mouth. You can even use your white pen to give them little hands, and it'll make them look like they're holding onto the rope.
اليوم الثالث عملت كانسر زودياك. I think I like it. كده أنا خلصت اليوم الرابع. اليوم السابع الحمل. نفسيتي كويسة، عندي أفكار بس مش عارفة هعرف أكمل لغاية 31 يوم ازاي. يعني عندي أفكار مثلا لغاية 15 يوم قدام أو 10. 15 ايه 10 معرفش بقى الباقي ايه. صاحية من 7:30 عشان أرسم يوم الجمعة، عندي بروفات
Stick painting do's and don'ts. Use lukewarm water. Cold water will make mixing harder, whereas hot water may risk melting your ink stick. Never dip your ink stick into water before grinding, as this can rot your ink stick over time. Use a brass ink spoon or a pipette to measure out your water. You really only need to start off with 2 drops. Grind your ink stick on a 90-degree angle flat onto your inkstone and not on a 45-degree angle. This will make for the best grind and will avoid breakage. The ink should feel buttery once fully saturated. If your surface feels gritty, it could mean that your ink is not fully saturated or due to impurities in your ink stick or ink stone. You can sweep fully saturated ink into the well of your ink stone and transfer it to a palette. Add more drops of water to grind more ink. Verify the saturation of your ink prior to use. If the ink appears gray, it has not been ground enough. Grind it until it is fully black.
Set the phases to run. What's got you distraught? It's negative attention at best. But call it nothing. Maybe something, a little bit, maybe something. It's all about ascension, I guess. Don't put me to rest. And hand me your clothes. Take a picture or 2. I can see you. Tears falling down at the party. Saddest little baby in the room. Fears, tell me fears, don't get me started.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
You look like a nice boy.
Do you want a balloon too, Georgie? Oh, well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown. Pennywise? Yes, meet Georgie. Georgie, meet Pennywise. Now we aren't strangers, are we?
The storm blew me away. Blew the whole circus away.
I love Halloween and decorating, and this last week I've been working on making this skeleton in toxic waste. Here's a quick recap of how I did it. I took this skeleton and a submersible pump. I set a bucket in a trash can and put the skeleton on top of it. The pump tubing goes up through the skeleton and through a cup to make it look like the skeleton's drinking. I took the trash can lid and added foam and lights and spray paint. I replaced the trash can lid and added more foam and painted that as well. After everything dried, I cut the foam between the lid and the trash can so that I could remove it as needed. I love that this makes it easy to store. After that was finished, then I added water. I also added highlighters to the water to make it neon. I also painted this PVC pipe to make it look like a straw. I used a zip tie to keep the cup in place, and then I added a few extra details, and then I added it to my front yard. This was so fun to see and make it come to life. Here's what it looks like during the day, and here's what it looks like at night. I also added a black light to make it light up at night. I love how this turned out. It's such a fun Halloween decoration, and my kids love it. Follow along for more fun DIY.
In this town, don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise.
Round that corner, man, hiding in the trash can. Something's waiting now to pounce, and how you'll scream. This is Halloween, red and black, and slimy green. Aren't you scared?
Well, that's just fine. Say it once, say it twice. Take a chance or roll the dice. Light of the moon in the dead of night.
Everybody scream! Everybody scream!
In our town of Halloween.
I am the clown with the tearaway face.
Here in a flash and gone without a trace.
I am the who when you call who's there. I am the wind blowing through your hair. I am the show of the moon at night, filling your dreams to the brim with fright. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Doodles inspirados en Halloween. En mi caso solo voy a necesitar delineadores, un lápiz o portaminas y hojas. Bueno, yo los doodles ya los había dibujado a lápiz para que el vídeo no se hiciera tan largo y bueno, todos estos son. Así que mientras los voy delineando los vais a poder ir viendo. Para empezar he hecho este murciélago, este gorro de bruja que creo que no me ha quedado muy bien, pero la intención es lo que cuenta. Estos dos caramelos, la tumba esta típica de Halloween, que probablemente la habéis visto más de una vez. Continuamos con esta especie de caldera de bruja, que creo que es el dibujo que más mal me ha quedado. La típica piruleta con una espiral dentro, un hueso porque me daba pereza dibujar un esqueleto. También una media luna que no sé por qué pero me recuerda mucho a la noche de Halloween. Seguimos claramente de algo que no podía faltar, una telaraña. Otra vez estos dos caramelos como los que he dibujado antes. Esta mini arañita. Otro tipo de caramelo que hay en Halloween. Dos velas. Esto de aquí que ahora mismo no me sale el nombre. Y por último una calabaza, obviamente. Y ya por último el fantasma que hay abajo a la derecha. Y ya solo faltaría quitar el exceso de lápiz. Y esto es opcional, pero ya si queréis pues lo podéis pintar por dentro. En mi caso lo he dejado en blanco y negro. Y así quedarían nuestros doodles de Halloween. Aquí los podéis ver con un poco más de detalle. Y bueno, espero que os haya gustado. Adiós.
Empecé con el boceto de un cráneo a lápiz. Usé una referencia para los detalles y luego con goma moldeable borré el exceso del grafito. Una vez que me gustó cómo quedó, empecé a trazar las líneas de acción de las ratas que iban a salir del cráneo. Una vez que el boceto queda listo, yo lo que hago es hacer una capa de todo el dibujo en lápiz azul. Así todos los colores al final quedan combinados. Después le agrego una capa de lila a todo el dibujo y una capa de café. Luego van los detalles en gris y rosa para los ratones y el ocre para el cráneo y los reflejos del cráneo en el pelaje de los ratones. Resaltamos sombras en lápiz negro y algo faltaba, así que decidí trazar un círculo alrededor de todo el dibujo con cuidado de no marcar lo que iba a sobresalir de este círculo. Y luego lo rellené con mucho cuidado con acrílico negro. Pero quedó bonito. Al final solo unifiqué las sombras del acrílico negro con el lápiz de color y agregué luces con pluma blanca. Y también agregué unas colitas de ratón y pelos para que pareciera que hay más ratones. Y listo, te tardaste 5 horas en un Inktober.
It's time for a terrifying tutorial. Let's paint this Pennywise in 2 minutes. Starting with the white base, we're going to take some black shading gel and get the top outline of his eyes, followed by 2 curved lines underneath. Now we're going to do some thin lines under his eyes for some texture, 2 slanted lines for his eyebrows, and add some circles in his eyes with yellow. Outline those circles with red liner gel, and while that's wet, go ahead and blend a little bit to add some dimension. Cure that, and now we're going to add some black inside of his eyes, and trace the top of the eye with a thin line of black. Using the shade Sinister, I'm going to outline the yellow part of his eye, and using that same color, do a thicker line underneath his eye. Now we're going to add some black liner gel under that color. And we're going to do some very thin strokes and thin lines, and then taking our blender brush, we're going to go ahead and blur that out to create even more texture. Add a wrinkle line right here, which will be very important later. And now we want to draw out the nose and fill it all in red. While it's wet, you want to give it some texture by blending it a little bit into the white. Now we're going to take that shading gel and trace along the top and the bottom of the nose and blend it out. Then we're going to add some highlight with white liner gel. Now using your red liner gel, we want to draw out the top of the mouth, tracing along the bottom of the line with black shading gel. Now for his teeth, I mixed white and yellow together to create this buttery teeth color. And while the gel was wet, we want to wet blend some brown gel polish onto the teeth to make him look gross and grimy. Now we're going to draw out his lips. Make sure you make that bottom lip nice and big. Then we're going to trace along the teeth and fill in the lip. Outline the lip with black shading gel and then blend. Add some shading gel here, and while it's wet, blend again. Now this is my favorite part. Outline the teeth with black liner gel, and while that black liner gel is wet, go ahead and blend that. It's going to give this mouth so much dimension and look so cool. Add some highlight on the lip, and I decided to add some black on the bottom of the nose, and go ahead and blend that out. Now right where we laid those 2 wrinkle lines down earlier, go ahead and start his paint on his face. Then we're going to add some above the eye, make sure that your line is going tapered thinner towards the top. You want these pretty symmetrical on both sides, but we don't want it to look too perfect, so go ahead and blend that out and make it a little bit messy. Now after that's cured, go ahead and take some white liner gel and add some cracks through the lines on his face. But we're not quite done yet. Add some matte top coat, and taking a blood red jelly, we're going to add some drips coming out of his mouth. And look how creepy this is. You literally just painted Pennywise. Like this video if you want me to paint this Pennywise next.
love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise.
Round that corner, man, hiding in the trash can. Something's waiting now to pounce, and how you'll scream. This is Halloween, red and black, and slimy green. Aren't you scared?
Well, that's just fine. Say it once, say it twice, take a chance or
It's day 2 of Inktober and today's prompt is suit. I'm doing this Inktober through Greek myths and today's myth is that of Ichion. If you thought yesterday's myth was bad, wait till you hear this one. So Ichion was a son of Ares and he wasn't particularly happy with his dad-in-law. So he decided to have dinner with him one day and instead pushed him into the fireplace. Now, this particular action violated the guest host rules and he wasn't welcome anywhere in the city and lived like an outcast. I mean, getting exiled is better than jail, but who knows. So God Zeus felt really sorry for him and for some reason decided to invite him to Olympus. While on Olympus, Ichion decided it was a good idea to hit on Zeus's wife, Hera. Now, before any bad deeds were done, Zeus realized this and decided to trick him. He created a cloud that resembled the shape of Hera. This cloud's name was Nepheli. Now, things got really spicy between Ichion and the cloud. Yes, he did make love to it, and as if that wasn't enough, they had a child, which was the first centaur. I wish that was the main part, but this gets worse. Zeus picked him up and threw him off Mount Olympus, shoving a thunderbolt up his... No, just kidding, he didn't do that. But what he did was worse. He bound him to an ever-spinning, winged, fiery wheel for eternity. That's right, Ichion is still spinning on a wheel of fire. So for the prompt suit, I decided to have Ichion wearing a suit of pain for all of eternity, as well as the concept of a suitable punishment for his dirty actions. If you like this, let me know and I'll post more of these.
It's that time of the year. Inktober. The rules are: make a drawing in ink, post at #Inktober, repeat for 31 days and follow the prompt. Follow me to see my entries.
Les artistes, on est au mois d'octobre, hein. Je dis ça, Ah non mais fais l'innocent, comme si tu savais pas de quoi je parlais. Inktober. Un dessin par jour pendant tout le mois d'octobre, ça te dit rien ça? Bon non, toi tu... Bah oui, mais moi je sais pas quoi faire. Il y a une liste, avec des thèmes, y a même pas à réfléchir. Alors moi cette année j'ai pensé à un petit truc pour le Inktober, tu me dis ce que t'en penses. En fait je vais faire ma propre version du Inktober, écoute ça chacal. Tu vois le mot Inktober? Et ben j'ai décidé de le remplacer parce que j'ai appelé le Ducktober. Est-ce que c'est pas un truc de foufou là? Autrement dit, je vais garder les thèmes du Inktober, mais je ferai tous les jours un nouveau canard en fonction des thèmes. Aujourd'hui par exemple, si t'es un petit peu attentif, t'as dû remarquer que le thème c'était araignée. Bon bah moi quand tu me dis araignée, je pense à Spider-Man, Spider-Man plus un canard, Spider-Canard. Et là je te vois arriver, tu vas me dire bah ouais mais l'araignée c'était le thème du jour 2, alors t'as fait quoi pour le jour 1? Et ben figure-toi que le thème du jour 1 c'était le rêve, et pour le rêve et ben j'ai fait ça. T'as capté un petit peu l'inspiration, la nuit étoilée, Van Gogh, le rêve et tout. Et là je te vois venir encore une fois, tu vas me dire bah pourquoi t'as pas filmé? Donc Spider Canard? Bah entre nous je trouve qu'il a carrément un petit flow en fait, je te le cache pas. Par contre si t'as commencé le Inktober, tu prends un crayon tout de suite sinon je débarque.
Alright, I'm just gonna say, I hate Inktober. Every year, October rolls around and a virtual, made-up, completely nonsense list of prompts looms over every artist's head, making them feel even more unaccomplished than they've already been feeling. You know what? I've never been past day 7 of Inktober. Well, not this year, bitch. Chances are you only follow me for the tutor squad, aka me drawing famous cats, yada yada yada. I love that, don't get me wrong. It gives me clout and a good time, but it's also made me completely stop pushing myself. And I know that's all you probably want to see, because no matter what I post on here, it's always, can you draw Grumpy Cat? You know what? No, I cannot. At least not for a little while. I'm not quitting the tutor squad, and I'll draw Grumpy Cat, but for right now, I am investing my entire artusi into finishing Ink Mother October, while also only giving myself 30 minutes for each piece. And this one was a bit of a struggle, it was not working out. This was already nearing the 30-minute mark, and I haven't even drawn the spider cats yet. Oh, there I am, I'm drawing them now. But I was sweating drawing this piece, that's why it's a little sloppier than my previous ones. But damn, if you were waiting for a sign to complete an Inktober, finally, this is it, this is your sign. Imagine how accomplished we're going to feel on Halloween that we just finished Inktober. And that's 31 individual art pieces every single day, baby.